All right, welcome everybody. My name is Jason Price. I'm helping out today with Blah 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 Motorcycles. And it has been a great event today at Moto Federation. Glad to see everybody out. It was a great presentation before with Bear and Moto Sherpa. Today we're going to be starting with the founder of this little garage here. It really built a nice community, Lee. Lee is a third generation motorcycle rider and founder of Moto Federation. Which is a DIY facility, and I'm sure he'll tell you more about it. His family has a long history of motorcycling, and it really has that enthusiastic spirit about Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati motorcycle community, and it led him to open the Moto Federation Garage 1 year ago. So this is the 1 year anniversary. For those of you watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We really can appreciate that. Also, check out our www.blahblahblahmotorcycles.com for all your merchandise that you might need. Hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, and we're all over the place. So we're going to let Lee take it over from here. Lee, are you ready? Here he comes. All right. Come on down. You're the next contestant on Mr. Price is Always Right.
I bid $1, Bob. If you haven't met me, I'm Lee. If you have met me, I'm not him. So my moto story is about how we ended up exactly in this building specifically. The story of opening a community motorcycle garage was not something that, at age 8, I thought, oh my gosh, I want to open a garage. The reason we have this here is because I needed a place to change the oil on my motorcycle. Jennifer and I have a shared driveway with our neighbors, and we have a small parking pad, and where the water and sewer lines run in our yard in relation to the property lines means we can only build a shed about this big. And putting a shed up in our yard would have obscured the view. Not that we had a great view, but we had a little bit of a view of the yard where the flowers and everything were. And so I kind of drug my feet on putting a shed up because I didn't want to sit on the back deck and look at a shed. The other part is I wanted something heated. And so about 3 years ago in 22, I found out a little bit about the community community garage concept. And just hanging out with some fellow riders, thinking, man, wouldn't it be great if somebody around here did that? Maybe it'll be me. And after, as you can tell, I like to hear myself talk, and after doing that many times, like, maybe it'll be me. The phone started blowing up, started getting messages from people I didn't know, asking me if I was the guy with the motorcycle garage. I was like, dude, I'm just running my mouth and drinking beer. So 2 years ago, it got to the point where I think most of you have seen the survey that I sent out to the various motorcycle groups on social media, and the response was overwhelming. Over 500 people responded in the affirmative that they would use a facility of this nature to various degrees. And there was a section in the survey where people could give feedback and ideas, and man, did people have opinions on what a motorcycle shop should be and should not be. So after that, and those of you who know me, I'm a financial advisor. Those of you who don't, guess what? I'm a financial advisor. And I've had several clients come to me with business proposals, and I have told several of them many times, don't do this, or maybe this is a good idea to get more information. And Jen will tell you, I am very much a leap before you look type person, but this is the one time I was my own client, and I did a lot of research as to whether or not a community garage would be feasible. And so after the survey and the due diligence and the research, it turned out that, yeah, it's feasible here. So in February of 24, we thought we had a space up in Norwood, and that fell through. Tim Burke knows this story. It was a space that had a second floor. Well, it was the second floor. And to get up there, everything would have to go up a freight elevator. And I thought that'd be a great idea because it adds another level of security. It's hard to steal shit, and you gotta take it down in an elevator. But it's also hard to get shit up there. The property owner was willing to put in an entrance ramp from an adjacent property that he had if we signed a multi-year lease. That space fell through because the tenant on the first floor exercised the right of first refusal for the second floor space. So that went out the window, and then the search began for another building. And there was a spot in St. Bernard, and it was 9,000 square feet. The floors were polished concrete, meaning the lights were glowing on the floor. I walked in and I thought the floor was wet. I didn't take any steps. And I went to see this space right after a meeting with a client. So I had a suit on, I had nice shoes, my teeth, I brushed my teeth, combed my hair, a fresh coat of Just for Men was on. So actually I had the tie off, but I still had the jacket on. And this is a family that their trust owns several properties in the Cincinnati metro region. So we walk through the space, it's beautiful, it's perfect. I'm starting imagining, okay, we can do this here, we can put this over here, the band stage will be everywhere. And so I talked to them about what we're doing, and just to back up a little bit, I did not obviously invent the concept of a community workspace. For the community garage area, the U.S. military, this is a stolen idea from the U.S. military. The U.S. military on U.S. bases have auto hobby shops. So if you talk to anybody who's been in the military or lived on base, they know exactly what this is about. So in the 50s is when the U.S. military codified what an auto hobby shop should be, how many bays, the tool layout, etc. So fast forward this, I share this information with this couple who owns the property that we're looking at. I also talk about how we want to work with a children's organization that builds Halloween costumes that incorporates a child's wheelchair or mobility device so they can go trick-or-treating. I give them the plans and ideas that we have about working with a veterans group so that a veteran who's lost the use of a limb can still ride. If they bring the bike in, the team, the community helps them modify that so they can still ride. So we go through everything, all that, all the community involvement, trying to work with technical schools and trying to bring shop class back to kids in middle and high school. And the very first thing they asked me, is this a Hells Angels type thing? And it's like, I'm there in a suit, my shoes are shiny. It's like, no, we don't have Hells Angels in Cincinnati. We've got the Iron Horsemen, who are considered a support club, but there are Hells Angels up in Cleveland, and then over in Indianapolis, we've got some Angels. And by the way, down in Lexington, there's the Outlaws. And this side of my brain is going, shut the hell up. And this side of my brain, I know, I can't stop. And they're like, so they tell their agent to tell my agent, we want absolutely nothing to do with him and his bike gang. So that created a little bit of a scarcity in properties available for Jennifer and I to find a place to have this, because they own at least a dozen in Hamilton County. And a lot of you, through the process, would ask me, how's it going? And I would share with you the problems of finding space, and you would suggest spaces down here off Spring Grove and other places. This is the second challenge we ran into, is that the Port Authority of Cincinnati owns a lot of industrial space. And a lot of that is owned in what's known the Industrial Revitalization Program. And the IR program is designed to attract manufacturing jobs and companies to the Cincinnati area. That means that they cannot lease or sell to a business that does not employ dozens of people, because they want payroll taxes to come in. So every time we would find a space, we'd have to look it up on the county auditor website to see if it was owned by the Port Authority. And sure enough, most of the times it was. There's a building literally 2-3 blocks this way, south of us, I guess. They worked on cement trucks there, repairing them, and it became available for lease. And it had a half-acre lot behind it. And I thought, this is perfect. Our agent is Nick Motes, and so we call Nick. And like, Nick, get us in that building. It's perfect. It's same use. He's like, it's that family that owns that building. So between the family and the city of Cincinnati, and then there is a couple in town, they're east side based, they buy a lot of warehouse space and they turn it into storage units. They don't own the one across the street, the U-Haul facility, but that's what they do. So a lot of times we would find a building, we'd call on it and like, nope, just leased it, we just sold it. and find out it's going to be cubicle storage. So we go through all of that, and oh, buddy, all this time I'm buying tools and shoving them in my storage unit, which became storage units, which was next to my drum gear and the disco ball, which, those of you who don't know, that is the original disco ball from Studio 54 out in New York City. We're working on getting the provenance to prove it is, but through the sources, I've been able to 95% confidently say, yes, it is. So fast forward to August, 2 storage units overflowing with stuff. The basement is starting to look like a motorcycle tool space. And this building comes up on our favorites list. And I know this building because my credit union is around the corner. And it had shown up a few times because the second floor of this building has been for rent for about 2 years. And it's just an oven over there. And I was getting ready to hit delete on the email, and then I saw that it said first floor. So we made the appointment to come see it, but we couldn't see it until Jennifer and I got back from vacation. And we walked through, and I'm telling the guy who owns the building, by the way, his name is Jim Dappin, great guy. His son Patrick, they have several properties. But at this point, I don't know them. They're just a guy who owns a building that I maybe want to do stuff in. So we walk through, our agent is with us, and we do everything, and I explain to him everything we want to do, and I really try to hit the technical side and helping the kids more and the veterans more. And first thing he says to me is, let's do it. I want to be in a biker type gang thing. So here we are, 1 year later, doing our biker type gang thing. It's not just me, it's not just Jennifer. There were several people who helped us along the way. Our charter members, Dan over there changing tires with Kyle. Mark and Adam Dowers, who couldn't be here today. Tim Burke was helpful in giving some advice. Aaron Shaw. All the other community garage members. KT Trail from Dayton Moto Collective. Skidmark Garage. Brian Shaffron up there. Brett Dempsey at Hickory Union Moto in Kansas City. We've got Kyle, who owns Milwaukee Create Moto Collective. Jeff King from Moto Republic out in LA. So there are about a dozen, hang on.
They're changing, sorry.
Buffering.
We're waiting. Bike Fit, Moto Fit. Moto Fit, Bike Fix You. So there are about a dozen, and Jen Holler. And Caitlin Gossett, who is not here today as well, helped out.
May she rest in peace. Again.
And if you're like, hey man, why didn't you say me? I just mentioned you. You're in that group of people that there are dozens of people who helped us out. So here we are 1 year later. The members have made it what it is. And that's how we ended up in this building, because we found an owner who thought this was such a cool idea that he wanted to be a part of it, and he was not scared away by different types of people coming in, working on different types of bikes, bringing a rock band in and building a stage and letting rock bands play here. Well, we'll let country play here too, why not? We can have both types of music, country and western.
Country and western.
Yeah, 5 points if you get that reference.
Country and western.
Yeah. So that's how we got to be here, and it's all because I was sweating my ass off and I just needed a place to change my oil. So thank you for making Moto Federation what it is. We look forward to many years together. That's my bit, and I'm going to turn it over.
All right, thank you very much, Lee. That was really interesting. I didn't know there was that much background behind just trying to find this one space, and that makes me grateful for definitely Moto Federation, all the hard work everybody's put in for that.